So I just don't know. Like, for me, I would have known. Like, if I'm him, like, at the beginning of the season, like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, maybe something can change my mind.
But allegedly, he was talking shit in the he did the slide tackle.
Yeah, of course.
He did a
That
slide
was,
tackle, kick to the ankle,
Bold
which
move.
immediate red card.
Oh, yeah.
He does that in Qatar. He even thinks about doing that in Qatar. Into soccer, Lombardi,
Might
dude.
be dead.
They are
Yeah.
running right over to him.
Yep.
Fucking red card in his face. His team's probably standing up doing what they do in soccer. They spit in each other's faces.
Yep.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's all they do. That would happen so quickly there. In football, obviously, everybody's like, there's no way that Tom Brady, the 45-year-old, the greatest of all time, did he just soccer slide tackle fucking boot guy in shin ankle? No, Tom wouldn't have done that.
Can't.
Then they show the replay. They're like, hey, that is.
He certainly did.
What the hell? I told you. Not everybody saw it. I fucking told you what Tom did. Nobody expected that video to come out. But that's a bad look, Tom. Can't do it.
Come on,
Tom.
Very bad.
You're the best of all time, bro. You're our GOAT. Can't have you doing that type of baby back bullshit out there. Can't have that happen. But what I did see from it is still cares.
Oh, yeah.
Very pissed. In that moment, to slide tackle and fucking kick somebody. Think about how, as a 45-year-old, think about how mad you have to be to do that. So it's still invested. I think he's still talking shit. I don't think he's retired. You've been around him. I don't think he had his mind. Now, Aaron, we don't know. Aaron, I'm excited to kind of watch him go through his process. And Tom's taking a little bit from the Aaron thing where I'm going to go through my process. I'm going to take my time. And Aaron's been saying that for the last couple of years. And everybody's like, this guy, just make a fucking decision or whatever. And Aaron's like, well, it's not that easy. Because Aaron, not as old as Tom, but fucking, he's been doing this a long time.
Still,
Hall of Fame resume already.
Yep.
Wealth already.
For sure.
Nothing really. I mean, he could win more Super Bowls. Okay. You can talk about that for everybody but Tom Brady and Bill Belichick probably forever. But like with Tom, I think he's coming back. I just have a feeling he's coming back. And after the game, he had a press conference where he was speaking to not only national media, but local media more specifically, and gave them a thank you. Listening to this, I don't think I hear any like, I'm done for with football forever, but you played with him. His hands were in your, in between your ass cheeks and your
tank. Nutsack.
and, yes, with trying to get to football. Now, you had two towels down there because that is the play. But you were a center for Tom Brady. You know him better than we do. Not saying you know him better than everybody else on earth. Listening to this, I didn't hear, oh, this guy's retiring. But you tell me. Go ahead, run this.
Yeah, it just feels like the end of the season. So I just want to say thank you guys for everything this year. I really appreciate all your effort. I know it's hard for you guys too. It's hard for us players to make it through. And you guys got a tough job, and I appreciate all that you guys do to cover us and everyone who watches and a big fan of the sport. We're very grateful for everyone's support. Hopefully, I love this organization. It's a great place to be, and thank you everybody for welcoming me, all you regulars, and just very grateful for your respect, and hope I gave the same thing back to you guys. So thank you very much.
I didn't hear anything there that says he's going to retire. Did you, AQ, if you were to listen back to him? Whenever he says, hopefully, and then he pauses and goes, I love this organization. I think he got halfway through a thought and then was like, oh, I don't want to go down that road because that might give away too much. So then he stops and comes back. He's like, let's go back to the basics here. I love this organization. That was really the only part that maybe led you to believe like, oh, he was about to say something that was telling, and he does know what he wants to do right now. But I didn't hear that he was going to retire. They're treating it at the end of that game a little bit. And they've gotten to chat with everybody behind the scenes in production meetings. They were treating that kind of like her last game for Tom. Like, he might have just threw his last touchdown in the NFL, and they were showing highlights of him from when he was with New England and him throwing it. It was almost like, were they doing that just because it is a potential storyline or because the information they were getting from their production meetings? That's kind of the balance I guess we got to play here.
I think potential, right? Like, I think for the last 10 years, you could probably play the potential game with him. But I think... I heard somebody say it last night, and I do think there's a lot that goes into this. Sure, the aspect of he's getting old and all that stuff, but when it comes down to, do I really want to go through the grind again? Do I want to go through the emotional, right? Like, do I want to put the effort in, commit Monday through Sunday, every single day for 6 months of game planning, putting together this, more so than that, being a leader, being the face of the franchise, doing all the media, all the extra stuff that goes along with being a great football player. do I want to go through that? I think that's the biggest question mark.
Yeah, absolutely he does. I mean, we watch Man in the Arena, and it feels like if there was one big takeaway from that, it's, one, obviously he loves the game, but two, like he's not a loser. And unfortunately, this whole entire season, he hasn't been good. The team hasn't been good. It's his first losing season ever, and they lost in the wild card. Like, if anything, that game last night reminded me a lot of the Patriots, his last game with the Patriots against the Titans. Like, the team didn't look good the entire game. There was no point where you thought, okay, maybe, the Bucs are going to come and win this, because it wasn't just Tom. Like, his, chemistry with Mike Evans seems to be completely gone. There's no run game. That's completely shot. The O-line that we saw this year wasn't the O-line we saw last year, or obviously when they won the Super Bowl. Now, him saying the hopefully stopping, thank everybody, it feels like he was going to say, hopefully I'm back here next year. Yeah. But instead of going down that road, it was more so just like, hey, I've enjoyed my time in Tampa. But all roads, or at least all signs to me, point to him going somewhere else, but he's definitely going to play again.
And obviously people will wonder if those teams will want him. Because remember a couple years ago, whenever he was still Tom Brady and before he won his most recent Super Bowl, allegedly there was a lot of teams that were like, nah, we're going to stick with this person over Tom Brady because of who Tom Brady is, the age Tom Brady's at, and everything like that. A lot of people were saying his arm was washed. We talked to Clyde Christensen, the quarterback coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're like, not watching the film, right? You watch the film, he could still, there's a couple, right, still can spin it. Right. Still, you go back Cincinnati, I think he, right. Still, those people aren't watching the film, kind of what Clyde Christensen said. 100%. And that might have been why a lot of people didn't want to take him. But after what has happened this year, to your point, Tom Brady's not a loser. After how he's performed this year, like how many teams will be like, yeah, give us the 46 on August 3rd year-old guy over our potential guy. And Tom's going to cost money. That's a real question that's going to take place. Now, follow-up, depending on situations, I think I still pull a trigger on one last year for Tom Brady, but everything's going to be set up like, hey, this is a one-year trial thing. No offense, Tom Brady. We have no idea what you have left. I don't think you know what you have left, although you think you know what you have left because of the TB12 thing. I asked a lot of people on the internet last night. I said, excuse me, no way Tom Brady goes out like this, right? Because of how you view it.
Yeah.
People said, right? As if he would not go out like this, 31%. He's done, 46%. And then there was 23% that were just snooping around to see what the other people felt like. But 31% of the people agreed with me that did this poll, that there's no, and Connor, that there's no way that this is how Tom Brady's going to let his shit go. Like, there's going to be a Tom Brady that still thinks that he can be the great one still. No offense, Wayne Gretzky, who by far
is the great one.
Best hockey player
Unbelievable.
in the history of hockey or whatever, but he's going to be chasing that consistent greatness, I think, for however many years. I think that is how he's wired. Just trying to do some psychology type shit. I think that is what he is. That's the type of person he is. So I assume he's coming back. Now, if he does come back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are they going to have him throw the ball 65 fucking times in a game? The most amount of passes per game as a 45-year-old and as a 44-year-old, Tom Brady in Tampa